Gentlemen, I'm going to start with something that may sound shocking, something most men never hear from their doctors. The reason you struggle with weak or short-lived erections after 60 isn't because you're old, and it's not because your body has stopped working. It's because no one ever told you that your blood chemistry, something as simple as the acid level inside your body, can quietly choke the very circulation that gives you strength where it matters most. And no little blue pill can truly fix that. I'm Dr. James, a urologist with more than 30 years of experience helping men rebuild their confidence, their energy, and their intimate health naturally. I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who thought their best years were over, only to watch their vitality return once they understood one forgotten truth about the body. Here's the paradox. The secret to rock-solid erections doesn't come from the pharmacy. It comes from your kitchen. From a simple white powder you've known your whole life, baking soda. Sounds absurd, doesn't it? But stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, you'll discover how this humble ingredient restores circulation, oxygen, and energy at the cellular level, without drugs, without side effects, and without depending on anyone else. So don't go anywhere. In just a moment, I'll reveal exactly how this baking soda trick works and why it could help you forget the blue pill for good. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another men's health tip designed especially for you. And I'd love to hear from you. If you believe natural methods like this deserve more attention, type 1 in the comments. If you'd rather see me cover a different topic next time, type 0 and let me know what you'd like me to explain next. All right, let's dive in. To truly understand why this simple baking soda trick works, we first need to uncover the real cause behind weakening erections after 60. And it's not age. It's something happening deep inside your bloodstream that quietly controls your strength, stamina, and confidence. 1. The real problem isn't your age, it's your chemistry. I've spoken with hundreds of men in their 60s and 70s who sit in my office with the same look in their eyes, a quiet mix of frustration and disbelief. They say, "Doc, I eat right, I walk every day, but things just don't work like they used to." And I look at them and tell them something that almost always makes them pause. It's not your age, it's your chemistry. You see, as we grow older, our bodies endure decades of stress. Poor sleep, processed foods, coffee, alcohol, medications, even emotional strain. Each one leaves behind a small trace of acid in your system. Over time, those traces add up. The result is what I call a slow acid burn inside your bloodstream, a subtle but powerful shift that makes your blood thicker, your vessels tighter, and your circulation sluggish. When your blood becomes even slightly acidic, everything changes. The arteries that once opened easily begin to narrow. Oxygen has a harder time reaching your muscles. Your red blood cells stiffen like worn-out tires that can no longer roll smoothly. And when it comes time for your body to send blood to the areas that matter most for intimacy, your heart, your brain, and yes, your penis, those pathways just can't open fully anymore. That's when men start to notice it. The morning erections fade, energy levels drop. The body that once reacted with strength and certainty now hesitates. Most people call it aging, but that's a lazy explanation. What's really happening is that your blood chemistry has shifted out of balance, and your circulation is paying the price. Think about it. Your entire body runs on blood flow. It's the delivery system for oxygen, hormones, and nutrients. When circulation slows down, your cells starve, your energy falls, and your confidence follows right behind. But here's the hopeful part. Your body is not broken. It's just asking for balance. Once you restore that internal chemistry, once you bring your pH back to its natural, slightly alkaline state, those vessels begin to relax again. Blood starts to move freely, oxygen returns, and the body you thought was past its prime begins to wake up. And here's where it gets truly interesting. The answer to restoring that balance doesn't come from a lab or a pharmacy. It comes from something so ordinary, so overlooked, that it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. In fact, this simple substance has been quietly helping the body heal itself for over 100 years. So let's talk about how this one humble ingredient can change the way you think about your health, and why it might just be the secret to bringing your strength back naturally. 2. The blue pill only masks the real problem. I still remember one of my longtime patients, David, a 68-year-old retired engineer. He came into my office holding a small blue pill between his fingers and said, "Doc, this used to work like magic. Now it barely does anything." He wasn't alone. Every week I meet men just like David, men who once felt that pill gave them their manhood back, only to realize later it was a temporary illusion. The truth is, the blue pill doesn't fix what's broken. It just paints over the cracks. Here's what I mean. The medication works by forcing blood into the arteries of the penis. It opens the gates for a few hours, but it doesn't repair the roads the blood travels on. If your vessels are stiff, narrowed, or clogged from years of acidity and poor circulation, the pill has to push harder every time you use it. Eventually, the side effects start showing up: pounding headaches, flushed skin, dizziness, and that heavy, unnatural feeling in the chest that so many men try to ignore. The body feels wired, not alive. You might get the result for a night, but the next morning you feel drained, disconnected, even older than before. That's because you're fighting against your own biology. You're forcing blood through tight pipes instead of repairing the pipes themselves. Imagine trying to pump water through a rusted hose. It might work for a while, but sooner or later, pressure builds and the system fails. The blue pill is that pressure. It's a short-term fix for a long-term imbalance. I tell my patients, if your blood isn't flowing freely, if your arteries can't expand easily, no pill in the world can give you the kind of natural, confident performance that comes from true health. What you really want is not a chemical reaction. You want restoration. You want your body to respond naturally, effortlessly, the way it once did before stress and time took their toll. And that's where most men feel both scared and hopeful at the same time, scared that they've been relying on something artificial, hopeful that there might be a better way. The good news is, there is. There's a way to help your body regain that natural response by improving the very chemistry that drives circulation in the first place. And surprisingly, the solution doesn't come in a prescription bottle at all. It comes from a common ingredient you've probably used your entire life, one that can quietly transform how your blood flows and how your body feels. In the next part, I'll explain what that ingredient is and how it helps you restore what time and pills have taken away. 3. The hidden secret: pH balance and blood flow. When I first started studying men's health 3 decades ago, I used to focus only on hormones and anatomy. Testosterone, blood vessels, nerves. That's what we were taught to look at. But after years of listening to my patients and digging deeper into their lab results, I realized we were all missing one quiet, powerful factor that connects everything: chemistry. More specifically, the delicate pH balance inside your bloodstream. Your blood isn't just a red liquid flowing through your veins, it's an intelligent system, finely tuned to deliver oxygen, nutrients, and life to every cell. It needs to stay within a narrow pH range, between 7.35 and 7.45, for your organs to work properly. That small balance is what allows your arteries to open smoothly, your heart to pump efficiently, and your body to respond when desire calls. But here's the problem. As men age, years of stress, processed foods, alcohol, and inactivity gradually push the blood toward acidity. It happens so slowly you don't notice it. You just wake up one day and realize you don't have the same drive, the same energy, or the same reaction you once did. When blood becomes acidic, the arteries constrict, red blood cells lose their flexibility, and the heart has to work harder to push blood through. The result? Less oxygen reaching the muscles, slower recovery, colder hands and feet, and yes, weaker erections. The same chemistry that causes fatigue and brain fog also limits blood flow to the very tissue that depends on it most: the erectile chambers of the penis. Now here's where things get interesting. Deep inside your kitchen sits a humble white powder called sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. It might sound too simple, even silly, but this natural compound gently restores your body's pH toward balance. It gives your blood a reserve of alkalinity that neutralizes excess acid helping your vessels relax and your circulation flow freely again. It doesn't override your system like a pill, it cooperates with it. You're not forcing an artificial reaction, you're creating the environment your body has been craving for years. When that balance returns, everything else follows. Clearer thinking, deeper sleep, warmer extremities, and a steady, confident response during intimacy. Your body starts to remember what it's capable of. And the best part? This approach costs almost nothing and works with your body's natural design. But before you start pouring baking soda into a glass of water, you need to know exactly how it should be used, how much, and when, because the timing is what unlocks its full potential. Let's talk about how to do it safely and effectively so you can experience these results for yourself. 4. Better pH equals better blood flow equals better erections. When I explain to my patients how something as basic as blood pH can influence erections, most of them give me the same puzzled look. Doc, are you telling me a few numbers on a chemistry scale can affect what happens in the bedroom? And my answer is always the same. Absolutely yes, and far more than you think. Because when your pH shifts just slightly toward the acidic side, your blood vessels act like cold rubber hoses, tightening and resisting flow. But when you restore even a small amount of alkalinity, those same vessels soften, expand, and allow blood to surge through like warm water through a clean pipe. That's the difference between a sluggish, uncertain response and one that feels alive and powerful. I've seen this transformation countless times. Men who once believed their bodies had simply aged out suddenly rediscover what real circulation feels like. Their hands are warmer, their minds sharper, their mornings more energetic, and yes, their erections come back naturally, without pills or pressure. This isn't magic, it's physics and physiology working together the way nature designed it. When your blood flows freely, oxygen delivery improves, your heart doesn't have to strain, and every cell in your body receives the energy it needs to perform. Healthy blood flow isn't just about intimacy, it's about life. It's about waking up and feeling your body respond to you again, not sluggishly resisting every movement. It's about confidence, vitality, and a sense of youth that starts deep in your arteries. That's why alkalizing the body isn't a gimmick. It's a return to the natural chemistry your system had when you were younger. The blue pill can mimic that for a few hours, but balanced pH can make it your new normal. Think of your circulatory system as a grand highway. Acidic blood is like traffic at rush hour, congested, slow, frustrating. Alkaline blood? That's an open freeway. Everything moves with ease. You feel lighter, clearer, stronger, and more responsive. And this isn't limited to one part of your body. The same process that restores erections also strengthens your heart, energizes your muscles, and sharpens your brain. Every man who's experienced this balance tells me the same thing. It feels like getting 10 years of life back. That's what happens when your blood and your chemistry finally work together again. But to make this transformation real, you need to know how to create and maintain that environment safely without guesswork or excess. In the next section, I'll walk you through exactly how to use baking soda the right way so you can unlock these benefits naturally every single day. 5. Circulation is the foundation of male vitality. Every man I've ever treated who struggled with low energy, fatigue, or declining performance had one thing in common: poor circulation. It doesn't matter how strong your will is or how much desire you have. If your blood isn't flowing freely, your body simply can't respond. You see, erections aren't just about hormones or desire. They're about hydraulics, pressure, flow, and energy. And when that system slows down, everything else begins to fade with it. When your circulation is strong, your body feels alive. Your heart pumps with confidence, your brain feels sharp, and your muscles respond the way they used to. You wake up with energy that lasts through the day. But when blood flow weakens, it's like the lights in your house dimming one room at a time. You might first notice it in your hands and feet. They're cold more often. Then your energy starts to dip, focus slips, and finally, when you need your body to rise to the moment, it hesitates. That's not aging, it's restricted blood flow, and the beauty is, it's reversible. I've seen men reverse years of decline simply by improving circulation. When you nourish your arteries, relax your vessels, and restore healthy flow, something incredible happens. You feel like yourself again. Your skin looks healthier, your thoughts become clearer, your energy deepens, and in those private moments, your confidence returns naturally. That's what true male vitality is. Not temporary performance, but steady, lasting power that comes from the inside out. And this isn't just about intimacy. Better circulation means your organs get more oxygen, your muscles recover faster, and your heart doesn't have to fight so hard to do its job. It means you can walk farther, think sharper, and wake up feeling capable again. Men who restore healthy blood flow often tell me they didn't just get their performance back, they got their life back. The best part? You don't need to rely on drugs or extreme measures to make it happen. You just need to restore the natural chemistry your body was designed for. Something as simple as keeping your internal environment balanced and your vessels relaxed. That's where the baking soda method shines. It's not forcing blood to move, it's allowing your body to open up and do what it's meant to do. In a moment, I'll share exactly how to use this powerful but gentle technique, how a few sips of a simple mixture can help you reclaim that full-body vitality you thought was gone forever. 6. Safe, natural, and science-backed. I know what you might be thinking right now. How could something as simple as baking soda possibly make such a difference? I asked myself that same question years ago when I first came across the research. I've always believed in evidence, not hype, but the more I studied it, the clearer it became. What seems simple on the surface can often be profoundly powerful when it aligns with how the body naturally works. Sodium bicarbonate, or baking soda, has been used safely for generations. Our grandparents kept it in their kitchens for heartburn, fatigue, and even to soothe sore muscles after hard labor. Today, modern science confirms what they already knew intuitively. This humble powder supports the body's natural buffering system, helping maintain that vital pH balance your cells depend on. When your blood stays within its ideal range, your cardiovascular system operates more efficiently and oxygen travels through your body with ease. That's not just theory, it's measurable. Clinical studies have shown that people with balanced internal chemistry tend to have better vascular flexibility, improved endurance, and lower inflammation levels. What this means for men, especially those over 60, is simple but life-changing. When your vessels relax and your circulation improves, you're not just supporting your heart, you're supporting your confidence, your stamina, and your sense of vitality. Baking soda doesn't trick your body or push it beyond its limits. It simply helps restore the environment where strength and energy can thrive again. I remember one patient, Tom, who started this routine after years of relying on medication that only masked his symptoms. He followed the protocol carefully, just a small amount each morning on an empty stomach. Within weeks, his hands felt warmer, his breathing easier, his sleep deeper, and most importantly, his body started responding naturally again. No pills, no pressure, just balance. His wife told me, half laughing and half crying, "It's like I have my husband back." That's what natural science-backed wellness looks like. It's not dramatic, it's steady, and it builds from the inside out. When you work with your body instead of against it, you don't just treat symptoms, you restore function. And that's exactly why this approach is gaining attention among men who are tired of quick fixes and want real, lasting vitality. Now, you might be wondering how to do it properly. How much, how often, and when to take it to unlock the best results without upsetting digestion or balance. The answer is surprisingly simple but crucial to get right, and that's exactly what we'll talk about next. 7. How to use it correctly. When it comes to baking soda, the magic isn't just in what it does, it's in how you use it. Over the years, I've seen too many men get excited about natural remedies, only to go overboard and lose the benefits by ignoring the details. With baking soda, precision and patience make all the difference. This isn't a race or a quick fix trick, it's about supporting your body in the right way, gently, consistently, and safely. Here's what I tell my patients. Start small. Take just a quarter teaspoon of aluminum-free baking soda, dissolve it in 8 ounces of room temperature water, and drink it once a day on an empty stomach, ideally first thing in the morning. That's it. You don't need much. After about a week, if your body feels comfortable, no bloating or discomfort, you can increase it to half a teaspoon. The goal isn't to flood your system, it's to give your body a steady stream of alkaline support so it can recalibrate naturally. Timing is crucial. Never take baking soda immediately after a meal because your stomach needs its natural acid to digest food. When taken at the wrong time, it can neutralize that acid and slow digestion. But when you take it on an empty stomach, the alkalinity is absorbed into your bloodstream where it can do its real work, supporting circulation, balancing your pH, and energizing your cells. The type of baking soda you use also matters. Choose a high-quality, aluminum-free, food-grade brand. It might seem like a small detail, but purity affects both effectiveness and safety. Store it in a dry place away from moisture to preserve its potency. And remember, consistency always wins over quantity. A small dose taken daily will do far more for your health than large amounts taken sporadically. One of my patients, Robert, told me that his favorite part of this routine wasn't even the physical change. It was the feeling of control. For the first time in years, he said, "I feel like I'm doing something that works with my body, not against it." That's the power of this method. It helps you rebuild trust in your own system again. But here's where things get even more interesting. When you combine this simple alkalizing practice with just a few supportive habits, certain foods, better hydration, and gentle movement, the benefits multiply. The body doesn't just respond, it transforms. So in the next part, let's talk about how to amplify this effect naturally and make your results last for the long term. 8. Combine with healthy habits for maximum results. Over the years, I've learned that no single habit, no matter how powerful, can work alone. The baking soda method is a remarkable foundation, but when you pair it with the right lifestyle choices, the results don't just add up, they multiply. Your body begins to work like a finely tuned machine again, each system supporting the other, and the changes you feel are deeper, stronger, and far more sustainable. Start with what you put on your plate. Food is chemistry, and every bite you take either fuels balance or feeds acidity. If your meals are filled with processed meats, sugary drinks, or heavy fried foods, you're constantly tipping your body toward acid overload. But when you fill your plate with greens, fruits, nuts, and seeds, something powerful happens. Your blood shifts toward alkalinity, your energy rises, and your circulation opens naturally. These foods are nature's buffers, filled with minerals like potassium and magnesium that work hand in hand with baking soda to keep your pH steady. Hydration is another simple but overlooked piece. Blood is nearly half water, and if you're even slightly dehydrated, your circulation slows and toxins build up faster. Aim to drink half your body weight in ounces of clean water each day. Add a pinch of high-quality sea salt now and then to replenish minerals lost through sweat and urination. It's a small step that supports the kidneys, which are essential for maintaining pH balance. And then there's movement. You don't need intense workouts or fancy gym memberships. Gentle daily exercise, walking, stretching, deep breathing, or light yoga helps your body release carbon dioxide and acidic waste through your breath and skin. Every exhale is a detox. Every bead of sweat, a release. When your blood moves, your chemistry heals, and the results of your alkalizing routine become even more noticeable. Finally, don't underestimate the power of peace. Stress is one of the most acidic forces in the human body. Chronic worry and tension flood your system with cortisol, which not only damages your blood vessels, but also blocks the very circulation you're trying to restore. Spend time outside, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to slow down. The mind and body heal best when they're calm. When you combine these habits with your daily baking soda practice, you're not just improving one aspect of health, you're creating an environment where every part of you thrives. And the transformations I've witnessed from men who embrace this lifestyle are nothing short of inspiring. But to truly understand how powerful these changes can be, you need to hear the stories of real men who've done it. Men who went from feeling worn out to feeling alive again. Let me share a few of their journeys with you next. 9. Real men, real results. Nothing inspires me more than watching real men reclaim their health and confidence. I've seen it time and time again, the quiet transformation that begins with doubt and ends with renewed vitality. These aren't celebrities or athletes, they're everyday men, husbands, grandfathers, and friends who decided they weren't ready to give up on their bodies or their relationships. And every story starts the same way, with a small act of hope. Take Michael, for example. At 64, he'd been through nearly every pill and supplement on the market. He told me he felt hollow, not just physically, but emotionally, like he was living behind a wall he couldn't break through. When I explained how blood acidity can slowly choke circulation, he nodded, skeptical but curious. He decided to try the baking soda routine, just a quarter teaspoon in water each morning, plus the dietary changes we discussed. 3 weeks later, he came back to my office with a grin that said more than words ever could. His energy was back, his mood lighter, and for the first time in years, his body was responding naturally again. "It's like I woke up from a long sleep," he said quietly. Then there was James, a retired teacher who had accepted his fading strength as an unavoidable part of aging. His wife was the one who convinced him to start. Within a month, he noticed his afternoon crashes disappearing. He was walking more, sleeping better, and his hands and feet were no longer cold. 6 weeks in, his confidence had returned, so had his spark. He told me, "Doc, I didn't realize how much life I'd been missing until I felt it come back." These changes aren't miracles, they're biology in action. When your chemistry shifts, your body follows. The baking soda method doesn't mask symptoms. It rebuilds the foundation that makes performance possible. It restores oxygen, balance, and flow, the 3 ingredients every man needs to feel strong, capable, and alive. Every time I see one of these men smile again, I'm reminded of something powerful. It's never too late. The body doesn't forget how to heal, it just needs the right conditions. When you give it balance, it gives you back strength, clarity, and connection. And while these transformations are remarkable, what's even more fascinating is why they last. Because unlike quick fixes or drugs that fade, this approach builds from within. So in the next part, let's talk about why this method creates lasting, sustainable results, and how it can help you not just perform better, but truly age stronger. 10. The message: balance, not medication. If there's one truth I wish every man over 60 could understand, it's this. Your body doesn't need more medication, it needs balance. Pills might give you a temporary lift, but they do nothing to rebuild what time, stress, and modern living have slowly worn down. What your body truly craves isn't another chemical boost, it's restoration. It wants to return to the natural rhythm it once knew, the steady heartbeat of vitality that comes from within, not from a bottle. I've spent decades in urology, helping men rediscover their strength, and I can tell you this, real recovery never starts with a prescription. It starts when a man decides to trust his body again, when he chooses to support his chemistry instead of forcing it. That's why this simple baking soda routine feels so revolutionary, even though it's been hiding in plain sight for generations. It doesn't fight against your body, it partners with it. It helps your blood flow freely, your energy rise naturally, and your confidence return quietly, one day at a time. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. You're not chasing an instant result that fades by morning, you're creating a steady improvement that builds with every week. You start to feel the change in small ways, the warmth in your hands, the energy when you wake up, the calm in your mind. And then one day you realize something extraordinary. Your body is responding again, not because you forced it to, but because you gave it the right conditions to thrive. Men who embrace this method often tell me that the greatest benefit isn't just physical, it's emotional. They no longer feel dependent on something artificial. They feel in control, grounded, and confident again. There's a sense of dignity in knowing your strength comes from your own biology, not a quick fix. That's what balance gives you, the freedom to live on your terms. So if you've spent years believing that your best days are behind you, I want you to know, you've been misled. Your body hasn't given up, it's just waiting for you to give it what it needs. And the moment you restore that balance, everything changes. In the next and final part, I'll show you how this simple shift can do more than improve your performance. It can redefine how you age, how you feel, and how you live every single day from here forward. Conclusion: reclaiming your natural vitality. When I look back on all the men I've treated over the years, men who walked into my office tired, frustrated, and convinced that aging meant the end of their vitality, I see one common thread. They didn't need a miracle. They needed to remember what their bodies were capable of. And once they did, everything began to change. That's the true power of balance. Not the kind that comes from pills or temporary fixes, but the kind that builds quietly and steadily when you start working with your body instead of against it. The truth is, your body never forgets how to heal, how to circulate, how to respond. It only loses that rhythm when we ignore the small things that keep it running smoothly: our chemistry, our movement, our diet, our peace of mind. The baking soda method is a reminder of that truth. It's not about replacing one habit with another, it's about restoring harmony inside you. A glass of water, a pinch of balance, and a willingness to care for yourself from the inside out. That's where transformation begins. I've seen men who once relied on pills rediscover the confidence they thought was gone forever. They walk taller, they laugh more, and they reconnect with their partners not just physically, but emotionally. Because when your body feels alive, your spirit follows. This journey isn't only about stronger erections, it's about stronger lives. It's about reclaiming the energy to do the things you love, to show up for the people who matter most, and to feel proud of the man you see in the mirror again. And yes, it takes time. It's not an overnight fix. But every step you take toward restoring balance, every morning you start with that simple glass of water, every choice that supports your health moves you closer to the strength, clarity, and vitality that's still waiting inside you. Age doesn't take that away. It just hides it under years of imbalance. The good news is you can bring it back. So if there's one message I want you to take from this, it's this: don't settle. Don't accept that fatigue, low drive, or poor circulation are your new normal. You deserve to feel alive again, and you can, starting with something as simple as restoring the chemistry that keeps your blood flowing and your energy strong. Forget the blue pill. You don't need it. You already have everything you need inside you. You just have to wake it up. And the moment you do, you'll realize that your best years aren't behind you. They're still ahead, waiting to be lived with strength, purpose, and balance.